never have someone approach me and strike up a conversation.
So this is my best friend. I just wanted to show him off because he's really cool, really awesome. He makes my life better, and I love him.
If we're at the airport and I have a suitcase, why would you not help me put it into the car?
You're gorgeous, but men don't approach you. There are some women who are drop dead beautiful, but they never get approached.
Someone make it make sense for me how these women want men to text them back fast, but not too fast, that it's too creepy.
Fellas, what's up? I always get looked up and down. Are you guys intimidated to approach, or you don't know the angle of the approach you want to take?
Men don't get a lot of compliments ever. This man literally took 5 minutes to think of an answer.
This 304 says a real man will pay your rent without having his name on the lease or even a key. Are you kidding me? Like, women are actually thinking this way.
If I was a man, I would have no game. No game. You see how aggressive I am. I would just come up to you and be like, you look good. So no women would like me. They would call the police. Because that's how I approach men.
You're gorgeous, but men don't approach you. There are some women who are drop dead beautiful, but they never get approached by any guys. Oh, guys will look, maybe even stare, but that's all they do. And these same drop dead gorgeous women will see other women who maybe arguably aren't as objectively or conventionally attractive as she is, get approached by guys all the time. So this makes her question her own worth and her own beauty. So she works to become even more gorgeous, which has less guys approached than already were. And it's just this endless cycle where there are two things at play here, which is why guys don't approach you. One, they think the chance of you being interested in them is incredibly low. And two, rejection from a beautiful woman stings that much more because beauty is very powerful on a woman. So unless a guy knows that you want him, he will almost always play it safe and approach the women that he can handle rejection from. Now, if you're one of these gorgeous women who never gets approached, I have some bad news for you, but I have some great news for you. Because your beauty has powerful impacts on men to a high degree, the bad news is you have to work harder than your average girl for guys to approach you. You can't afford to just sit back and do nothing, because that's what's put you where you are. They might be thinking, but Kip, that's not fair. How can me having more mean that I have to do more? Well, with great power comes great responsibility. You have to learn how to send those feminine cues that gives him permission to approach you, because even the most confident, masculine, high-value man is going to be looking for those cues from you because he knows consent is very important. But here's the great news. Because your impact is that much more powerful as a beautiful woman, you can virtually get any guy you want to approach if you know how to send those signals. So if you're listening and you want to know how to do this, comment the word approach under this video and I will send you my free guide.
Ask a bunch of girls, when was the last time a man approached you at a bar and started talking to you?
Okay.
And I thought this was just me thing, but they were all like, no, it hasn't happened in, I can't even tell you how long, like before COVID.
Dang.
And I thought that was a me experience. I was like, okay, maybe I give off like a standoffish vibe. I don't know. I don't think so. But no, they all agreed. They're like, I can't tell you the last time a man tried to talk to me at a bar.
Okay, look, well, I'll help you out. I'll tell you why. A lot of men, you got to think about it. Look on the internet. All women do is get on here and bash men every day. It's like women, like, when they go to bed at night, they're like, oh, I can't wait to get up in the morning to bash men. So after months and months and months and years of just bashing, men is like, you know what? We ain't got to put up with this. We just gonna go watch the game in peace and laugh and joke with our friends, and we're just gonna do that and don't have to worry about nothing. Think about it. Women were literally saying that they'd rather be in the woods with bears than human men. What do, like, I don't know. Sometimes I be like, do y'all think that when y'all say something like that, men gonna be like, oh no, we gotta do whatever they say? No. It's just gonna be like, you know what? Okay, that's what they wanna do. Fine. We just let them learn the hard way, and we're gonna do what we do, and let's see how it turn out. Because honestly, men are happy by themselves. Like, if we just being honest, So, I mean, I guess you could say y'all need men before men need women. I don't know. Y'all figure it out.
I seen a girl on here talk about how men don't approach her, and I wanna me too that, cause they don't approach me either, and I don't really know why. Where I'm from, men will just like stare you down, like they won't say nothing to you. They'll just look at you, or they'll say stuff like as you're walking by, but they won't politely approach you. I was once told that I was like unapproachable. I didn't really listen to him because it's like he told me that when I was in college, and it's like, yeah, I'm walking around campus with books going to class, not that happy to be here. But damn, I might be hard to approach. But then again, I don't really know, because when people do approach me, like rare, I be friendly, I be nice, I be, hey, how you doing? Like, I don't be rude or nothing. So love life extinct, super dry over here. Oh no.
I know people don't believe me when I say this, but when I am out and about, I might get noticed or the occasional stare or smile, but when I initiate eye contact or smile at someone, making them know that I'm interested or anything of that sort, I never have someone approach me and strike up a conversation, let alone get a number or asked out on a date, ever. And I'm just wondering why. I get that sometimes it's hard for guys to come up to women because sometimes women can be very cruel or demeaning or what have you. But come on, men, shoot your shot. I mean, all it takes is just a hi, how are you? Yeah, just why? Why?
I can understand why men have given up dating, because can someone make it make sense for me how these women want men to text them back fast, but not too fast, that it's too creepy?
Fellas, what's up? I always get looked up and down. Are you guys intimidated to approach, or you don't know the angle of the approach you want to take? Which one is it? And I even speak, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, hello. I'll give a compliment if I see you're kind of stuck in your head a bit. What is it though? Do I give mean girl energy? Like, what is it? Because I always get looks, and I mean, a lot of these men will stop dead in their tracks. Like, we're in a store and they're like pushing a car, whatever, they will stop and just be looking. And I'll be like, oh, so to not make it awkward, I'll speak or give a compliment. But it's happening like a lot now.
Let me try to prove a point that I think is 100% correct. The point I'm going to make is that men don't get a lot of compliments ever. They can count like the number of times they got complimented in their fingers. Because my boyfriend and I were just playing a card game. I actually have the literal question right here. And then the question was, what's a compliment you received that stuck with you? And tell me why this man literally took 5 minutes to think of an answer while I had a few in my mind. And then I was like, why does it take a long time for you to think of an answer? And he was like, well, I don't really get complimented a lot, like besides from me. And then I was like, do men just don't get complimented? Then it's like, you'll compliment a man on something, they will remember it forever.
Most modern women's dating profiles sound like a 40-year-old successful male executive. I have 2 MBAs, I serve on 3 boards of directors. I love doing the mud runs, and I'm training for a marathon. Sounds like a dude. Women have become the men that they want. How about I bake a mean lasagna? You should see the dress that I just made. Now that will get my attention. Okay, so this 304 says a real man will pay your rent without having his name on the lease or even a key. Are you kidding me? Like, women are actually thinking this way. My comment is, remember, when she gives you the key to her place, it's not yours, it's just your turn. How is that, you ask? 5 seconds after an argument, they always say, give me back my keys. Am I right? Why? Because they're going to be on Chad's key ring next weekend. My brother. Wake up! Hey, traditional Christian conservative ladies, nothing keeps that beautiful gold crucifix safer than being in your cleavage with that low-cut shirt. It just reminds me of our Lord and Savior, Jesus. Not. These traditional conservative Christian women on X, formerly known as Twitter, and also on Instagram, cleavage and a cross right in the middle of them. Like, you know, I can appreciate a gold cross. I can appreciate a good rack, but I'll tell you what, it just, letting that cross dangle right in the middle of the rack like that just seems kind of odd to me. You heard me talk about why I don't wear a cross around my neck anymore. And it's, some people agree with it, some people don't, but you heard why I don't wear a cross anymore around my neck. And the worst thing you can do, gentlemen, is give a cross on a chain, whether it be silver, gold, platinum, to give a cross to a woman as a gift.
You date multiple people at the same time?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you tell them?
Yeah, I want you to know I'm not hiding anything.
Okay,
and I think they don't take me seriously. So there was somebody recently I dated. He was obviously expressing how much he's like enjoying getting to know me. And that's when I was saying, you know, obviously I feel the same. And just to be 100% open, I am still open to dating other people. I hope you don't take offense to this.
Whilst you're dropping this bomb, this is a meal that I'm supposed to pay for. Right?
Fair. The meal had already been paid.
Sorry, who's paying for this meal?
This first date I was on, there was somebody I was already dating.
Excuse me, sir. On the same day. Why do you feel like this is something you should be doing? Though? How do you have all this time? You finish from one bar to another bar. Why can't you do one at a time? When you're done with this one, if it doesn't work out, you look for the next.
I wasn't looking. That guy found me.
They keep finding her.
And who am I to?
You know, you are high profile. Are you dating now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
So this new guy, have you told him you're dating multiple people? Oh, sorry.
Your window is still open.
Yeah, we're not exclusive.
I don't mind if these guys date other women.
That's what I'm doing. I can't get mad if that's what they're doing.
What number date, does this person now become, okay, it's me and you now?
I know when I genuinely like someone and I start cutting off other people.
Like you wean yourself off.
You wean yourself off is crazy.
I think a 3 is the magic number.
So you never go past a 3 date dating multiple people?
Well.
But no, I'm really trying to help you here.
And you heard there at the end, he said, I'm just trying to help you here, because she kept on digging herself a hole, which is what modern women do. And they wonder why men don't want to date them anymore. They wonder why men are walking away. They wonder why men refuse to help in any situation or scenario. It's because y'all play men for fools, and then you sit up on these podcasts and laugh about it.
Hi. I will not be able to take all of you. You need an Uber XL. Yeah.
I can afford an Uber XL.
I cannot.
Right up the street.
I cannot be able to take all of you. Legally, I cannot. And also, you will also need to be able to have booster seats, even for the little ones.
So you think I'm gonna install a booster seat in somebody's car with 4 kids?
Any child under the age of 8 will need to have safety seats, and also with the amount of people.
So you want me to carry around 3 car seats?
It's not me.
I Uber all the time.
Okay. This is a car. It is not me.
It is you. I Ubered in the car 3 times already, and nobody gave me an issue but you.
You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people. You have 7 people.
And we get in the back seat of an Uber all the time. She holds the baby, they sit in the middle. We get in the Uber all the time. We literally do, and I live right up the street. My mom lives right up the street.
Then call your mom, because this is illegal right here. If you would like, I can call the cops, because this is illegal right here.
What I'm trying to tell you is
you can call Uber, they will let you know this is illegal. You have 7 people that can only fit 4 people in a vehicle. You need an Uber XL, and you also need safety seats for children.
So
I cannot take this.
3 car seats?
Yes, you're a parent. You're a parent.
I carry around 3 car seats.
You're a parent.
By myself.
You're a parent. When you have children, you're a parent. Yes.
I carry around 3 car seats.
Yes, you're a parent. You're a parent.
Around 3 car seats.
You're a parent. When you have children, that's what you do as a parent.
For all my hate men, show me your going outfit, because this is mine. This all they get. I hate y'all. I don't y'all at all. This all they get. This all y'all get. I'm not showing out for y'all.
That dog looks miserable back there. It's probably because he's tired of you talking.
I'm gonna hold you. We gonna link in. And if I see you got that phone and do not disturb, baby, I'm going home. Well, I'm going home. Because I didn't came here for that. I ain't nobody's.
It is truly shocking to me that we can come online and see a story time of a child, a mother's son, black boy. But we are just confused as to why there may be a disconnect as far as why black men have a resentment towards black women. And we understand daddy issues when it comes to women, but we just can't seem to fathom mommy issues when it comes to men and women. Even though there are women who can relate to mommy issues, we still don't understand it. And as far as I know, men have pretty much been majority in the position of wanting to take care of a woman, as long as it's the woman that they want. But we don't, and we reciprocated that energy with, I don't need your money, I can be independent, I don't need you, I don't need this, I don't need that, blah blah. But we still get confused as to why there is this resentment, underlying resentment. Why they might be going elsewhere to other cultures to seek out love or affection or respect or anything. We'll see story time after story time after story time of mother children neglecting their children, belittling their children, embarrassing their children. But we still like, it's because they gay. I know men have their fair share of issues that they need to deal with internally. But it seems like the flashlight is always pointed towards the men and never towards the women, when apparently they have the most authority over raising the children. And you just can't seem to figure out why. We can understand how an absentee father doesn't deserve any respect, but a mother does. Okay. Well, good luck with that, because it seems to be getting y'all nowhere.
I'll be honest with you, like, I don't believe women 99% of the time anymore. Like, y'all be capping. The thing is, they always blame the guy for everything. Oh, he's toxic, whatever. And then you talk to the guy. Oh, yeah, I just didn't want to go to the club on a Saturday. Oh, is that really toxic? It's just that women, you guys don't like boundaries and standards.
I'm going to say something kind of wild.
You didn't have to raise your hand.
If I were, okay, well,
I like that, though. Being obedient is awesome. Oh, my God. That is a trait. What you just did is a trait that a certain communities would kill for it. Like, I said you're obedient, and you didn't say, oh, I ain't no obedient. And you were just like, you went in there.
That's my thing. I'm trad wife till I die.
I don't know what you talking about, Dr. Umar.
I like this one, though. Sensational.
Why do most men not want to celebrate their birthdays? I don't understand it. My husband does not enjoy celebrating his birthday at all. And I'm now part of this like dance friends group, and one of our friends' birthdays is coming up in a couple of weeks. So I said, hey, what are we doing for your birthday? And he's like, nothing. I don't celebrate my birthday. And I said, oh, well, we're going to celebrate you this year. And everyone chimed in, yes, absolutely. So booked a restaurant for dinner. And then today he texted and he's like, hey, so what if we do it at my house instead? And I could invite a couple more people, but I don't want to tell them it's my birthday. And we're like, what? Like, why? Who cares? Why do you not want to tell them it's your birthday? And then someone else asked, hey, what's your favorite kind of cake? I'll bring a cake. And he's like, no cake, please, no cake. Like, this is not a birthday party, blah, 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 blah. Another guy in the group chimed in and is like, yeah, I don't really celebrate my birthday either, so I totally understand. And we're like, what is the big deal? Why are you so anti-birthday celebration? I am the biggest birthday celebrator you'll ever meet. I had 2 birthday dinners. I was supposed to fly to New York. It's like birthday weeks, birthday month. Like, I love to celebrate. I love any excuse to celebrate, but my birthday especially. So I'm just curious, are you a man who doesn't celebrate your birthday? Why? Or are you married to someone or partnered with someone who doesn't celebrate his birthday? I don't get it. Help me understand.
A few moments later.
I had no idea that birthdays, the topic of birthdays, was so triggering for men. Holy crap. So I posted asking like why most men don't want to celebrate their birthday. The men came out. Thousands of them wanted to comment and tell me why they don't celebrate their birthday. Some of the comments made total sense, like they're introverts, they don't feel comfortable with attention on them. Some of them were just negative, like, I don't want to spend the money. My wife's just going to waste the money anyway. My birthday is the day all my problems began. Like, just not good. Then there were some that were genuinely sad, which was like trauma response, like happened in their childhood that they don't want to relive. I totally get that, respect that, whatever. But the comments that triggered me were the comments that said things like, because I'm not self-centered, I'm not materialistic. One person even used the word narcissistic to describe people who celebrate their birthdays. That is insane. That is insane to me. Like, absolutely insane. So I'm just wondering if there is a psychologist in America who has an answer to this. Like, why is it that, is it societal? Like, are men just trained, like, real men don't celebrate themselves? Like, what is the theory behind it? Still confused. Still very confused. But that video is going strong. And if you are interested, go look at my old videos, and literally over 1,000 comments. It is wild.
So the comments that she forgot to mention are some of these comments right here, because anything nice that is done for us is often just thrown in our face later. It's easier to not care. Another dude says most men full well understand no one actually cares that much. We don't need something out of pity or duty. Most holidays and special events are for women and kids. Just leave me be with my peace. Another dude said, because we're tired of getting socks from people who expect vacations. And I think that stuck with me. And another one, we end up paying for all of the quote unquote celebrations. Yeah, you forgot to mention those.
To be honest, I hate that saying where it's like, if he wanted to, he would. And it's like, okay, but I want to, so I will. Like, I have zero shame in triple texting, quadruple texting. I don't give a, you're gonna see me whether you like it or not.
So this wanted to see me. I'm like, I need $500 to call off work. He gonna cash at me $40 and say, go ahead and fill up that tank, boo, because you're gonna need it to get back and forth to work.
Here's your early morning reminder that women in their 30s are being loud online and are anti-male, not because they hate men, but they want to convince 22 to 25-year-old women to hate men, because women know they have to compete with younger women for dates. And if they can convince the younger generation to hate men, then they can remove them from the dating pool, and then these old heads might still have a chance.
One thing about these men, and something we can like honestly learn from as women, is that they do not have a scarcity mindset. Not when it comes to relationships and the women in their lives, not when it comes to getting what they want out of life. They just always assume that there's more of where this good stuff came from. I have seen guys fumble amazing women so many times, and they don't even bat a goddamn eye. They're like, on to the next. I'll find another one. And you know what? Low-key, they kind of do. Even if they don't necessarily deserve it, like, the world just rewards them because they don't think in like this lack mindset. Like, they're not thinking like, oh my God, I'm never gonna find like another amazing woman again. Oh my God, I'm never gonna find this like amazing opportunity again. Like, they're just like, life moves forward. And then they move forward. Whereas us girls, like, for example, like, we'll lose a relationship. We're like, we're never gonna find somebody like him. We're never gonna find somebody who's so amazing and treats me amazingly. Meanwhile, like, he probably didn't even treat you that great. But even if he did, like, we're still like always stressing that we're never gonna find something again. Like, maybe we should just switch over and be like, no, there's more where this came from and probably better. And we deserve it. Like, that's one thing about guys is they genuinely think they deserve it. They believe they deserve it. And they believe that there's more good out there and that they're going to get it. Maybe we need to be more like that.
So there's a woman in the comments that said, women unfortunately can't have this mindset because good men are about as rare as a unicorn, whereas good women are literally everywhere, hence they don't care about losing one. No, I think it's more so the fact that men are builders. And what you will hear from a lot of, I use the term loosely, self-made millionaires, is whenever, hey, if you had to build all of this again, could you do it? Yeah. Well, what would you do? I would do X, Y, and Z. And they have a plan. So men have to build, and to build, you have to have a plan. The woman is beautiful, but they had to build a woman anyway. They had to, I got to pay for this. I got to go over here and do this. I got to take care of that. All of that planning y'all talk about and wanting a man to do, that's him building a life. He's just inserting you in it. You don't do that. And so you can't just go out there and get another man, because you don't want to build a man. You want to come into something that's already built. So you're screwed because you don't use your brain half the time. You only use your brain to make money. A man has to use his brain, money, family, structure, anything that has to be done, a man has to use it. So naturally, he develops more skills, particularly in this way, because he has to be multifaceted. But, you go ahead and be like a man if you want to.
If he does not call you, don't call him. If he does not text you, don't text him.
Or your husband. If he doesn't call, you don't call. If he doesn't text, you don't text. If he's not initiating dates or quality time.
Okay, nowadays you've got to match people's energy. And I'll tell you why. Because I was speaking to a guy and
match his energy. If you are new.
Women only want to match a man's energy when it's negative energy. When it comes to positive energy, they don't want to match it at all. So when it's things like cheating, taking long to respond, doing this and that, they want to match the energy. They be like, what would you do if I did that? No, I'm going to match the energy. But when it's positive things, like giving her money, taking her out on dates, giving her flowers, opening doors for her, then she don't want to. Matter of fact, they shame you for wanting them to match positive energy. They call you sassy. You also want to be taken on dates. You also want flowers. You also want money. You also want the woman that pays bills. You're sassy. You want to go 50-50? You're a sassy man. I thought you liked matching energy, but turns out you only want to match energy when it's time for you to do me. You don't want to. So if you're a woman and you want to match a man's energy, but you only want to match negative energy and never positive energy, then you better not match energy with a man at all. Women will be like, you wouldn't like if I spoke to you the way you speak to me. You wouldn't like if I did this and that to you. I wouldn't like it. If you try to do that I do, I would leave you. If you don't want me to match your energy, you better not try to match my energy at all. And it's not just about money and paying bills. Next time a guy tries to rob us, you better fight him. Since you want to match energy, match this energy. Go fight him,
Good morning, everyone. So this is story time right here. So one night I went out with my homegirl and I had got this guy's phone number. Very attractive young man. So after we exchanged phone numbers or whatever, he hit me up because he was going to come to the next spot that I was at with my homegirl. But I told him I was about to leave, so I told him I'd meet him at the store before he left to go back to Atlanta. So I met him and everything, and I was like, so what is your name? He was like, I sent my name to your inbox or whatever, so we can make a bet. I was like, I don't remember you sending me your name or whatever. So I was like, what's the bet? So he was like, if I did send my phone number, you could take me out to eat. You could pay for the dinner. So I actually went in my phone and I did see his name. And I was like, well, when I do come to Atlanta, we could go out to eat. So when I did get to Atlanta or whatever, he had been hitting me up like for 2 weeks straight. So I did go to Atlanta and everything. And he was like, are we still on to go out to eat? So I told him, yeah, we are or whatever. And I was like, where you want to go? And he was like, we can go out to Hibachi. He was like, you remember the bet we made or whatever? So I was like, yeah, I remember the bet. So we did go out and eat and the conversation was good. Everything was cool or whatever. And when it was time to pay for the food, they brought the tab out. And I think it was like $150 with the drinks and food or whatever. It wasn't too much, but he was looking at me and I was looking at him. So he pulled $20 out of his pocket and he was like, I got the tip. So I went ahead and paid for the meal. But I feel like first date, the man should have paid for the meal. So he was just like basically saying like the bet was if I did send your name, if I did send my name, that you was gonna pay for the meal. So I went ahead and I didn't argue with him. I went ahead and paid for the meal. But he's been hitting me up ever since then. And I haven't been returning his texts or phone calls because I feel like that's wild behavior to to ask a female out on a date, then make a bet, and then want her to actually pay for it the first time you go out. What are your thoughts on this?
So I think the overarching theme, and there's a lot of, well, there's some people, not everybody. There's some people saying that she should have paid, and then there's some people that saying, well, he's the man, he should pay. I think it was friendly banter. The way you're saying it is painting him in a negative light, as if you weren't a part of the game. So it was, you met him in a club, y'all were having a back and forth that was friendly. It was like, I sent you my name already. No, you ain't sent me your name. Hey, I'm gonna make you a bet. If I sent you my name, you gotta take me out. Now, if it had been reversed and he forgot your name, then you'd have been, you owe me, and you would have, and that's you asking him out. That's you saying you got to take me on a date, because it would have been disrespectful, is what it would have been. Oh man, I just sent him my name and he forgot it just that quickly. That's what y'all say to men, right? This is flipped and this is in reverse. Modern women always expect a man to cover for them in whatever they're doing, and that's what you're doing overall. So what happened in that time period was that you decided, okay, I'm going to come down to wherever he is. And he's like, hey, you remember our little bet? Yeah, I do. All right. Well, where you want to go then? I want to go get some of this. Okay, let's go over here. So the bill come. You paying, right? Yeah, oh man, I thought you was playing around. That's what she thought. Oh, I thought you were just kidding. What she wanted him to do was, oh man, I'm just messing with you. Here's my card. I'm going ahead and pay it. And then that would have unlocked her heart. It's like, oh man, he's a nice man, and she would have continued to see him. But what he did do to make you understand that he's not a complete jerk is that, I tell you what, since we made the bet, you got to hold up your end of the deal. But I'll get the tip for you. If that's a red flag for y'all, let me reverse it and make you think about something a little bit. It's a red flag that you're not willing to keep your word. If you make a deal and then you expect the man, or anybody for that matter, to continue letting you out of the deal just because you thought they were playing, that's a red flag. This is what modern women, it'd be one thing if it was just a one-off, but modern women behave in this way to where they'll say things and make deals, and then when it's time for them to quote unquote pay up or come through with their end of the bargain, all of a sudden it's a problem.
They want men to make six figures while working 20 hours a week while they still have quality time with them. If he has a good relationship with his mom, then that means he treats women well. But if he doesn't have a relationship with his mom, then that means he's automatically abusive. But then she doesn't want to ever talk about her daddy issues. If he's too nice and too kind, then that means that he wants something from you, or, there's an assumption that he's just buying you gifts and whining and dining you because he wants sex. But if he doesn't wine and dine you, then he's lazy, he doesn't care, and he's not putting in enough effort. You want men to lead, but you don't want to listen. You want men to show their masculinity and take charge and plan dates, but not too much masculinity that he comes off as aggressive, mean, rude, or condescending. You want men to be in tune with your emotions, but if he's too emotional, then he's weak and you don't trust him to make decisions and lead. He has to be attractive, but not too attractive that he looks like a fuckboy or somebody that gets around, because if he's too attractive, then he has too many options. But if he's not attractive enough, then you're not even looking in his direction. If he has a child and a baby mom, then you automatically assume that what baby mom would want to be single, and that makes him toxic. But if he's never been married or in a committed relationship, then that also makes him toxic, and that's a red flag because he's never been in a relationship before. You want men to initiate the dating stages of a relationship. You want men to initiate sex, but then when he stops initiating sex, then you assume that he's cheating on you. You want men to be honest and open and upfront, but your idea of honest and open and upfront is basically him telling you only the truth that validate your feelings and your experiences, because the moment that he invalidates how you feel, now he's narcissistic, he's abusive, and he is mentally and emotionally using you and abusing you. These women will always say that they want men to be themselves and be authentic to who they are, but then there's an entire list of icks, like wearing sandals in winter, or him just getting coffee, or him getting sepsis and you think it's funny and you're posting it on social media, but the moment that he posts an ugly picture of you on social media, now he's a piece of crap and he's picked the wrong picture and now you feel bad about yourself. If he dresses well and he takes care of himself, then he's too feminine and he's trying to show off. But if he doesn't dress well enough and he doesn't show off and he dresses average, then he looks like a broke-ass loser bum and you want nothing to do with him. You want that man to have hobbies like going to play golf or gaming, but if he games too much or plays golf too much or it inconveniences your lifestyle or what you have going on, now you're pissed off. But if he doesn't have any hobbies, then he's a loser because he's too obsessed with you. But if he has too many hobbies and takes away time from you, then he doesn't care enough. If a man respects a woman's boundaries, then he's being too creepy because he's just too good of a man. But if he doesn't respect her boundaries, then he's likely to abuse her or SA her later on down the road. If a man speaks loud, then that means that he's aggressive. If he speaks too soft, then that means he's too feminine. Men expect constant attention and praise all of the time. So if you give too much, then you're trying too hard. But if you give too little, then you're a lazy bum and you don't match the guys in her DMs. These women don't want men to be manipulative or liars or cheaters, but they'll turn around and show their butt cheeks online and call it, body positivity to basically cheat on you and be narcissistic, but then it's still all of your fault. And the sad reality is that you could give a woman everything that she could ever dream of: the house, the money, the cars, the emotional stability. You could provide, you could protect, you could check all of the boxes down the list. And guess what? She's going to turn around and say that she's bored, she's uninspired, she's not attracted to you. She's going to cheat on you with the next guy down the street who has no job, all because Susie Q has a better life on Instagram. But not only that, when she says that she's unhappy, she's going to get online and talk about how you're a narcissist, how you're abusive, even though you gave her everything that she could ever want. And every single step of the way that the goalpost changed or the expectation, especially unrealistic expectations, changed, you gave it to her and it still wasn't enough. So yeah, if anyone is ever wondering why men have stopped dating, this is a perfect example, because even as a woman, if you really sit back and look at it, it's so unrealistic and it's so delusional and it's so narcissistic that who the hell would want to put themselves through this? And it makes sense when you really think about it, because none of it actually makes sense. Women don't actually know what they want. They love the highs and lows of being incompatible with the wrong people instead of just being at peace. And then they blame the men for the unfulfillment and the lack of peace within their lives, even though they're the ones creating this diabolical cycle over and over with different men. Okay, bye.
The reality is that social media has changed things. And it's changed things for men and women, because I've even had male friends, male family members who are both Muslim and non-Muslim say that they are more likely to get a response from a girl through a DM, let's say on Instagram, than a positive feeling from necessarily approaching women, which is interesting. I'm always interested to know how men feel about it, because I agree with you. Like, the concept of being approached in public is much nicer and feels so much more organic than apps or DMs. But I also have heard, and this is just my experience from guys that I've spoken to, say, we see the TikToks of girls being like, when I'm in the gym, I'm there to train, don't disturb me, don't approach me. And they're like, oh, maybe she really doesn't want to be approached. Or if I'm out shopping on the weekend and I say hi to someone, I don't want her to feel, uncomfortable, or that I'm being scary or threatening in any way. So it's a tricky line as far as what I've learned from men. The huge caveat is obviously if a guy is going to approach a girl in public, to do so politely. But I've literally seen it. Actually, at university, me and my friends were hanging out. We all went for Thai food after class. And one of our friends, he had a crush on the waitress who was in the restaurant. So we were all standing outside the restaurant after, like, hesitant to leave or not, because he hadn't spoken to her. And me and my girlfriend, we literally said to him, you have to go in. Like, we are girls. We are telling you it is okay. We literally said to him, just tell her, like, hi, I think you're beautiful. Like, I'd love to get your number and catch up. So go for coffee or dinner sometime. And he did. And she literally said to him, she said, oh, I'm so sorry, I have a boyfriend, but like, you were so polite. So she even did give him that, like, kudos for being polite. But I've also seen with other best friends them approach a girl and her be really horrible, even though I know they were so polite to her. So it's tricky, guys. I feel like there are issues on both sides. If girls want to be approached, I feel like we want to be approached respectfully. But we have to also acknowledge that men do fear rejection. I would fear rejection. I mean, the thought of going up to someone is intimidating. But I would do it, honestly. I'm just a confident person. But as a girl, sometimes you just don't want to have to do that. It doesn't feel very feminine or you just want to be the one that's chased. But I give grace to guys for also not feeling like they want to approach people anymore. And I do think that social media has changed things. I think in some ways it connects us. In some ways it totally disconnects us. We are all on the tubes, on our phones. Actually, I met this incredible woman at a beauty event recently for work. And she was telling me about the story of how she met her husband. And she said, we both got onto the train and we were sat opposite each other. And she said, neither of us were on our phones. I think it was he was reading a book. And she just said something to him about the book that he was reading, and kind of like made it known to him that she would be okay to talk. And that was literally it. That was how they met. And then she said it was like an instant connection, and now they're married.